Hi, this is Wealthy Daniel, and welcome to my Provely 2.0 review. Provely is a tool that is very easy to use and it has now been completely revamped, making it better to use. When you sign up for Provely, you are able to create custom pop-up boxes that instantly build trust, urgency, and desire for visitors to sign up for the products and services you offer your prospects and customers with a small line of code that can greatly increase your conversions. You simply grab the code from Provely and paste it on the sales page, opt-in page, or webinar registration page. Once installed, every new visitor will see when other people sign up and buy what you offer. How does this work, you may ask? The reason is simple. Provely creates social proof. This is a psychological marketing tactic known as the fear of missing out. When people see others buying something, this guides their actions as they now see the product is good. It's the reason testimonials, reviews, likes, shares, comments, and celebrity endorsements on social media are implemented on projects. Provely uses this strategy and even makes it better by adding urgency. Now, instead of the people reading reviews, testimonials, Provely makes it possible for them to see in real time other people like them are buying or opting in, and they wouldn't want to be left out. Provely 2.0 has 13 new notifications types and more will be added to the suite of the social proof tool. I will now let my friend Mark Thompson give you a full demo of Provely 2.0. Over to you, Mark.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to integrate a Provely widget notification onto your website. So the first thing you're going to do is click on New Notification. You're going to give it a name. So let's just say that I want to generate more signups to my webinar. So I'm going to say webinar registration, and then I'm going to put in the domain that it's going to be on. So I'm just going to put that in. Click create, and then it's going to send you into the wizard. So now you can see we have a whole bunch of different notifications. We're going to be adding more in the future. So maybe when you're watching this video, there will be actually more, but depending on what your goal is, you're going to choose which notification you want. So if you want to have a live conversion, so when someone signs up for, for an opt-in form, or when someone purchases, you'll use the live conversion. We also have integrations with third-party rating services. So if you want to pull in those ratings and reviews from Google, from Facebook, from Capterra, you're able to do that. We also have the ability to show the number of visitors onto on a certain page or on your website that are currently browsing. We also have an announcement. So if you want people to opt into an ebook or anything that you want to kind of highlight, you can use our announcement notification. Then we also have a countdown timer. So if you have a time-sensitive offer, maybe you're running a special during a holiday, you're able to highlight that. Then we have our social notification widget. So this is if you want to generate more Facebook followers or Twitter followers or Instagram followers or LinkedIn, you're able to highlight your social media properties. Then we also have coupons. So maybe you have a time-sensitive coupon, you want them to be able to apply it. This is great for maybe people who have come to the page a couple times, haven't converted. You're able to use that coupon. Then we have our video notification. So you're able to embed a Vimeo or YouTube video right onto your widget and have it display at a certain time. Then we have our opt-in. So if you want to build your newsletter or your email list, you're able to use that notification. Then we also have this chat widget. So this can be a simulated chat where the goal is to capture their phone number. So maybe you're doing some sort of sales or you want to follow up with them via phone. You're able to capture their phone number and be able to follow up with them. Then we also have the inline notification. So this would be just pure text. You're able to embed it right into your page. So maybe you're trying to sell hotel rooms, or you have a certain number of vehicles on the lot that you need to sell, and you could say, there are X number of vehicles left, right? Or there are 3 hotel rooms left at this price. So there's lots of different ways that you can utilize Provely notifications depending on what your goals are. For this demo, I'm just going to use the live conversion, which is what most people use, but again, there are lots of different options. So once you've done that, we're just confirming the domain that it's going to live on. And then we have lots of different display options as well as audio options. And so we're going to run through those. So the first thing is, do I want to show the map thumbnail? Do I want to do a custom avatar? Do I want to add a custom image? Right here, you're able to do that. Maybe you want to use your logo or an icon. You're able to do that. And then we have lots of different theme settings. So you can choose from one of our pre-built pre-designed themes, lots of different options to choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. Then you can choose what you want your location format to be. Do I want it to be just the city? Do I want it to be the country? Do I want to show the city and the country? Do I want to show the timestamp? Do I want to display real names or not? Do I want to show an avatar or not? Then you can also add sound effects as well. So you could have different sound effects that just kind of give that audible alert to your visitor or customer to just kind of say, hey, pay attention to this notification. We also have the animation effects. So you can use bounce effects or flash effects. We have lots of different ones that you can choose. And then you could also add some custom CSS. So if you want to have it match, your branding, maybe you have a certain font or a certain type of design that you want to have this widget, you can use custom CSS and you can add it right into there. Then you have your message. We can say like live webinar coming this Thursday, right? And then you could have your fonts, weight, you could have your font size. You can choose what font family you want, message positioning, and then what text you want. So this is the text that's going to show, recently signed up for a 14-day free trial. So I could say recently signed up for the upcoming webinar, right? And then I could change the text color if I want to as well. So let's just say I want to go with the purple. And now we're going to do the actual widget itself. So if I want to add a border, I can do that. So I could do something like this, and I could add that. So here's my colors, and maybe I want to do an orange border, and I could change the radius if I wanted to. I could add a gradient, I could add a background color, so I can change all the different elements that are on the widget notification. Now let's talk about display settings. So do I want it to show up on the desktop versus a tablet versus mobile? So one thing that you may find kind of annoying is when you're on a mobile device, obviously the phone is much smaller than your desktop browser. And it can take up a lot of real estate on someone's phone. So what you may want to do is turn it off for mobile notifications and only have it show up on your desktop and tablet. So you have that control. And you also have the control as to where it's going to show on the browser itself. So do I want it bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right? You're able to do that. Then you could choose when should it display. So you can set a delay. So once the person lands on the page, do I want to show it 5 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, a minute after they have been on the page? Then the display frequency. So how often should it display? Should it show up every 5 seconds? Should it show up every 10 seconds? So it'll rotate through each of the different opt-ins or whatever the goal is for that notification. Notifications per user session. So you do have the ability to limit the number of times that the notification is displaying. So you could have no limit, or you can set a custom limit. So maybe I only want it to show 5 or 10 times, and maybe after a certain number of times, it may get a bit intrusive to the customer or visitor. Then you could have the date range. So do I want to only display opt-ins or customers or leads from the last 30 days, the last hour? And then do I want it to only show up after there's a certain number of visitors? So maybe you don't want to have, if there's only one person that's opted in so far, maybe you don't want it to show up. But once you have 3, 5, 10, then you can have it start to rotate through, and it shows, it starts to inject that scarcity and that kind of fear missing out, right? Then you have the country display. So maybe you cater to only people in the US or people in Canada or Europe. You're able to select which countries you want to display. And then also, do I want it to display on all pages? So I could either have it display on one page, I could have it display on all pages. It's completely up to you. And then if you have upgraded to our agency edition, you're able to remove the branding from the widget. So it'll allow you to remove the verified or powered by Approvely. So you can remove that as well. Now let's talk about the data source and integration. So we have a lot of different ways we can pull in data into your notification. So the first one, and probably what's used most often, is the web capture or action. So this is a little piece of script you add to your page, and we can automatically recognize when someone is filling out a form. So regardless of if you're using, WordPress, or using maybe a plugin, or you're using Wix or ClickFunnels or some page builder, you can add this form to your, or add this script onto your page, and we're automatically going to be able to recognize the from name, as well as the from email address, and then be able to display that onto your notifications. We also have an API. So if you want to utilize our API in some sort of custom integration, you're able to do that. And we also have webhooks. So we have some limited number of webhook integrations with things like PayKickstart, ClickFunnels, Shopify, but we're adding more as we move forward. And so whenever a webhook is fired, it can get sent over into Provely, and it'll be able to add them to the notifications. And then the last part is the embed. So you're going to have just a simple script that you'll add to the body tag of your page. And this is just going to allow it to display the notification onto your page. Okay. So once I've done that, all I need to do is click publish, and it's going to add it. Let me just go ahead and click here. And it's going to add it on, it's going to then display onto your page. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over, and I'm going to add the scripts, and I'll show you how it displays on the page. Okay, so for this example, I'm just going to use WordPress. I actually installed a plugin called Header and Footer, so it allows me to add JavaScript into a certain page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say webinar reg for Provely. And this is a JavaScript code. And instead of site-wide, I'm going to actually select a specific page that I want to add this to. So I'm going to first add in the tracking script, and then I'm going to add in the display script. So that's been copied, and now I'm going to add that. So now I want to make sure that it's after content. So this is going to add it at the bottom of the page. So these are the two pieces of script. So the first one is, again, just being able to capture the user's information. And then the second one is displaying the actual notification onto the page. So I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to go over to my page. Okay. And so here's my webinar opt-in page. And I'm just going to put in a name. I'm just going to use first name for now. And then I'm going to put in a email address. Okay. And I'm going to click on register. All right. Then it shows my thank you page. And so now what I can do is go back over to Provely, and I can see in the activity manager that I just had that opt-in. So it shows the opt-in, shows the IP address, shows the email address, and when it happened. So now when I go back over to my webinar registration page, so as you can see, just here a second, there it goes. Now the pop-up is showing the notifications, and it's really just that simple to add Provely to your site.
What if there was one small line of code you could place on any web page that could double, triple, and sometimes even quadruple your conversions for any one of your funnels? I'm about to show you a tool that is proven to do just that, and with just 5 minutes to set up. It's probably easier to use than anything you've tried before. It's called Provely, and the idea is simple but powerful. Here's how it works. When you sign up for Provely, you're able to create a custom pop-up box like this that instantly builds trust, urgency, and the desire to sign up for the products you have to offer. When you're finished, you grab the code and paste it into your sales page, opt-in page, or webinar registration page. Once installed, every new visitor to your page will see when other people sign up and buy what you're offering, like this guy and this one and this girl here. So how does pasting this little line of code into your funnel boost conversions immediately? The reason is simple. Social proof and the psychological marketing tactic known as the fear of missing out. A famous book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion says, when people are uncertain, they look to the actions of others to guide their own actions. If people see someone buying something, each purchase builds the idea that other similar people want the product. Therefore, it must be good. It's the reason that we use things like testimonials, star reviews, celebrity endorsements, likes, shares, and comments on social media. It's why clubs and restaurants will hire big crowds of people to make a line in front of their business. They know that you're more likely to go to a place where lots of other people are already going. Provely takes this timeless psychological selling tool and makes it even better by adding urgency. Now, instead of reading testimonials, reviews, or endorsements, your potential customers will see in real time when other people just like them are buying or opting in. This creates a feeding frenzy, and your prospect won't want to be left out. For example, imagine you have 100 spots to fill on your new webinar, and on the title of your website you say, only 100 spots open. This headline can create a little urgency for your visitors. But what happens when you add Provely into the mix? Your visitors see that John just signed up for the webinar, now Michael, now Jen, and then Greg. The more people your prospect sees signing up, the more urgent the situation becomes, because each new notification is one less chance they have of getting in before those seats are filled. But what about situations that don't have limited space? It works then too. For example, we've seen sales conversions jump from 2 to 6% with real-time social proof. That's going from 5 sales to 30 sales. We've seen opt-ins jump from 35 to 64%. Imagine what you could do with those leads. More opt-ins equals more opportunities to sell them. In this case, double the opportunity. In fact, other major online brands already understand how powerful this is. For example, if you've seen TripAdvisor recently, you've seen the notifications like this, showing that other people are looking at the same trip as you and showing how many people have booked the same flight you're looking at. If you've been on Booking.com, you've seen the notifications like this, telling how many people have booked the same hotel room today or how many people are looking at the same room right now. But here's the big difference between Provely and these other big brands. Instead of having to pay hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars to a big team of in-house developers to create a custom social proof solution for your funnels, Provely lets you simply copy and paste a small line of code, and you can easily customize your pop-up layout and messages in seconds for nowhere near the cost of the customized solution those other guys use. Adding Provely to any one of your opt-in or sales pages today is guaranteed to boost your conversions. Get access to this powerful psychological selling tool right now. In just the next few minutes, you could be doubling, tripling, or even quadrupling your conversions by adding a simple line of code to your funnel. To get started, just click the button below and look forward to seeing you on the inside.